I'm David Tager, and this is my wife, Sarah Tager. We also have 4 kids, Hannah, Adeline, Ryan, and Michaela.
We had heard about the Ridge just from living in town, but I really became more aware and connected with the Ridge initially through the Revelation study that Pastor Tim did. I had heard about it and was interested, and so just when I had time would pull up a podcast and do stuff in the house or do something else and listen to the podcast. So as we were talking and looking for a church, the Ridge definitely was on our heart to check out.
Well, during the pandemic, we hunkered down like a lot of families did. I still continue to work in person. The kids were doing virtual school, and that had its own challenges during the day. It felt really great to be back in person, to fellowship with people in the church, to attend live worship, to hear sermons, sitting in the congregation, and then it also opened up opportunities, maybe some more opportunities to serve, and that helped us just get connected better with people in the church, and I think that was really special for our family.
Currently, I'm serving, just checking people in for children's ministry, so that's been fun because I get to meet all the different people coming in, the kids and the parents, as they come in and start heading off to their various locations where they need to be. I think it's so wonderful to be able to reconnect, and that this is a season where we maybe need to be more purposeful about reconnecting with the church body and with each other, and however that looks for people, that's an important thing to do.
Hello, my name is Jack Brink, and this is my wife, Rebecca Brink.
And we have 2 daughters, Elizabeth, who is 16, and we have Paige, who is 13.
We just started going to the Ridge just shortly before, unfortunately, the pandemic forced the doors to close. And I think it was excellent foreshadowing on the Ridge to have some sort of connection online. And through the app and through the website, obviously we quickly realized, hey, we can have church at home online through this app, and that gave us the ability to turn up the music real high, wake the kids up, and bring church into our home.
So having the Ridge online for our family has had a variety of impacts. As we mentioned, we have 2 teenage daughters, and as anybody out there who's ever had a teen knows, sometimes getting a teen to go to church can be challenging. Sometimes convincing them that this is the best thing for them can be a struggle. And our girls have always attended private school, so they have a tendency to think, well, I already went to church during the week. Why do I need to go again on Sunday? So the fact that we could have church in our house, as Jack mentioned, we could turn up the music really loud. It immediately changed the environment of our home itself and allowed us not only to experience church on Sundays, but then it connected you throughout the week, because it was as if you could hear the music playing in the background and you remembered those conversations that were happening on Sunday, and they could naturally become part of your conversation every other day of the week. But so it allowed us to do that, and it allowed us to make an easy transition during a time that historically, on some Sundays, we might be too tired, or we may find that we've just had such a busy week. The impact for us is that it allowed us to have church be consistent for us. And it was something that when you make it a consistent priority, what you take away from it and what you learn, it compounds each other. And week after week, you're growing within the message, and you're growing with the church, and you're growing as a family. So the impact of having church at home has brought us a lot of new perspective and opportunity for us as individuals and as a family.
So I'm Rachel. This is my husband, Chris. We've been married for almost 8 years, and we have 1 son, Hudson, who is 5 years old. So when the pandemic hit, we were scared, like most people were, I'm sure, the fear of the unknown and what was going to happen, but also a little bit excited and happy to have that time to spend at home with our family, more time with our son. We both worked full time, so we didn't get that much time to spend with him. So there was also a little bit of excitement.
We had just moved into our new house. We were in the midst of unloading some boxes probably, and one of our new neighbors came by on his bicycle, introduced himself. I mean, he just said, hey, if you guys don't have a church, if you're comfortable with it, we have some neighbors that come into our house every Sunday, and we do the Ridge from home. So, being the new people on the street, we took him up on the offer, and that's how our journey with the church and home began.
So the Rigid Home gatherings have been tremendously impactful for our family. You know, it allowed us to grow our faith. It allowed us to get that smaller personal setting that we were kind of looking for before the pandemic, to just worship together and get to know people. It hugely affected how often we were attending church and how much we were, you know, allowing our child to experience that. And it just kind of started our journey to, you know, becoming more faithful and more regularly attending church. It also allowed us just to develop a relationship with the people in the larger church as well, so that, you know, as time has went on, we've become much more involved in the church setting. So Rigid Home has been amazing for Hudson as well. He's kind of a shy kid by nature, and so especially in person is a little bit overwhelming to him. So Rigid Home has been super beneficial because the kids gather downstairs while we alternate the adults going down with the kids, and so we get to kind of stay up a lot and listen to the sermons and the lesson while the kids go downstairs to have their lesson. And it's been really helpful for him because he's with his smaller group of friends that he's familiar with, that he already feels comfortable with, and still is able to grow in his faith as well by having, you know, his lesson geared more towards him.
So I think one thing that I appreciate about this time period is just that we have had different options of being virtual or being in person. And I've felt for our family, and probably for a lot of other people, the past, you know, year or two has been really challenging, and it maybe has been isolating. And so just to have the opportunity to reach out, to reconnect with the church body, to get to know some new people or reconnect with people that we haven't been connected with, has been a real blessing. And so I think this is just a period of time where we can utilize these different options to get reconnected.
We watch the Ridge on the road. We watch it in the hotel. We watch the Ridge everywhere. And what that will allow us to do is still have that connection in the week spiritually, to whether we went or watched it online. We're able to connect sometime in the week to receive the message and reflect on the message, whether we were at the church or online or had it with, experienced it with the family at the Ridge at home. So we love that hybrid ability.
So we have experienced all of the options the Ridge is offering right now. We have definitely done some of the online when maybe we've been feeling a little under the weather or we've had other obligations, and we were able to just watch the online by ourselves individually in our homes. And then over the summer, we started attending in person again, and our Ridge at Home family, it kind of came together as a group to decide to alternate. So we do Ridge at Home one weekend and then in person one weekend. And it's just been so impactful for our family. It's been so nice to walk into the big church and be in person and have that experience again, but also have our small Ridge at Home family there with us so that we still feel that smaller group setting in the larger building. So it's been really nice to just kind of transition back in to all of those options while still having our wonderful close-knit group that we feel very connected to now.